Hello everyone, Golden Pakari 25 here, and welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I'll be running over the Vahki from the Bionicle universe. I'll go over who invented them, the basics, the prototype Vahki, and then the separate types, along with their set number, and I'll finish with the two elite Vahki, along with their component sets. Without further ado, let's get started. The Vahki were originally designed by Matoran inventor Nuparu as a form of law enforcement for the city of Metro Nui. He first started designing the prototypes, the Krali, using spare parts he could find in the archives. The Krali turned out to be a disaster, due to Matoran troublemakers resulting in having their energy drained and having to rest for days, rather than being returned to work, earning the name Nuparu's Folly, as well as Taraga Duma commanding them to be scrapped. Nuparu was commissioned again to build more efficient law enforcement machines. This time, he succeeded. Nuparu managed to build 8 models, 1 for each of the 6 metro and 2 reserved for emergencies. About 5,000 Vahki were made, and hives were made in each metro to allow the Vahki to charge. Vahki were equipped with built-in disc launchers on their heads and had the ability to teleport discs from the warehouses into their launchers. Vahki also had stun staffs mounted on their hands, which could make a Matoran more or less helpless. It depended on the type. All Vahki could transform from bipeds into 4-legged robots capable of flying. Vahki communicated in high-pitched, ultrasonic signals, which is actually Matoran signals. Have fun translating them, only other Vahki could understand. First up, the Krali. As mentioned before, the Krali were the prototypes of the Vahki. They used energy spheres that came out of their scorpion tail to apprehend lawbreakers. However, this was the reason why they had to be scrapped. As mentioned, they would siphon off a Matoran's energy and acquire it for themselves. After Duma ordered their destruction, all Krali resisted and escaped to the outskirts of Metro Nui. Now we're getting started with the meat and potatoes of this video. The Nurak were the Vahki of Tar Metro. Due to enforcing an area full of forges, foundries, and fire pits, Nurak could not afford to make mistakes. Their way of apprehending lawbreakers was to ambush them and rely on numbers and shrewdness. This required patience, which Nurak didn't have. If something went wrong, it was likely they would turn on each other. As such, it wasn't uncommon to see groups of Nurak being dispatched to break up fights among other Nurak. Nurak used the Staff of Command, which filled a target's mind with an overriding command that would only wear off once the command was completed. Nurak was released in set 8614 Nurak, along with disc 116, a disc that reconstitutes something's atoms to something random, temporarily. The Bordak were the Vahki of Gar Metro. They were cunning and preferred to minimize risk. Despite this, they enjoyed the chase. Some allowed offenders to get a head start to maximize the length of the chase. Others even released their prisoners just to get another chase. Bordak preferred to work in small groups, as many Vahki chasing a target would take the fun out of the chase. Bordak used the Staff of Loyalty, which made the target have a strong desire for order. Targets were known to betray friends just to maintain order. Bordak came in set 8615 Bordak, and came with disc 225, which froze the target in ice. Due to it being made in Gar Metro, it would be hard to avoid, due to the Bordak having the ability to control its path. Bordak were designed with the ability to swim, but preferred not to. The Zadak were Vahki positioned in Po Metro. While Bordak loved to chase, Zadak loved to fight. They were the first elite in battle and were usually the last ones standing, due to them being the strongest of all Vahki. As they were the strongest, they would usually ignore Matoran troublemakers, due to them being no match for the Zadak, unless the situation was serious. Zadak were equipped with the Staff of Suggestion, which, hence the name, made the target more likely to follow orders. Zadak would usually stun a Matoran who was slacking off, have a friend convince the Matoran to go to work. Zadak was released in set 8617 Zadak, coming with Disc 334, which weakened the target, allowing the warlike Zadak to gain the upper hand. The Rozak were the defenders of the area of Onu Metru. They brought in the Rahi for the archives and defended the archives as well. Rozak were zealots to the extreme. Tales told of Rozak plummeting into mineshafts to catch criminals. They would risk destruction rather than let criminals get away. Rozak had large persistence. They would chase criminals until the target got tired. The Paru later tried to change their self-destructive personality, but results became worse than before. Rozak were armed with the Staff of Presence, which allowed it to detect what a Matoran is doing or saying. The Rozak comes in set 8618 and came with Disc 665, which shrunk a target. Rozak patrolled the streets of Ling Metru. They were destructive and found the ease of smashing obstacles in their way, despite being programmed to go through it. Despite their destructive personality, they were very lazy and preferred to smash down a building whole just to find one lawbreaker. Rozak boasted the worst tool possible, the Staffs of Erasing, which would erase a Matoran's memory, only leaving motor skills intact. The Matoran nicknamed the targets Shamblers, and would frequently see Shamblers wander aimlessly through the Metru. Rozak were released in set 8616 Rozak, and came with Disc 555, which enlarged the target, making it easier to hit. Kirak were found in an era that valued silence and predicted the future, Metru. Kirak were masters of strategy and had traits that belonged to its Metru, the ability to predict and silence. Kirak were rarely seen except to lawbreakers, earning them the name Phantom Vahki. Kirak had the Staffs of Confusion, which scrambled a Matoran's sense of time and place. Matoran viewed the tool as merciful when compared to the Staffs of Erasing. Kirak are found in the canister set 8619 Kirak and are armed with Disc 447, which removes poison on a target. Let's get to the elite models. The Krenua was an elite Vahki composed of sets Nurak, Rozak, and Rozak. And no, it's not a Kaito. It has the ability to turn into sand, which allows easy chases against troublemakers, as well as confusing Rahi. It does not have a disc launcher. The Krahu was another elite Vahki, but was called into action more times than the Krenua. It consisted of sets Bordak, Kirak, and Zadak. Unlike other Vahki, which had a CPU system in their heads, the Krahu had knowledge systems all over its body, allowing it to split into 6 pieces to attack a criminal. If any of those pieces are touched, the Matoran will gain a powerful electric shock. If all the pieces are intact and put together, the Krahu can spray stun gas. When the Great Cataclysm struck and Matanui put to sleep, all the Vahki in the hives received a powerful electric charge and most were destroyed. The surviving Vahki were more violent and able to speak at normal speed. However, these new traits did not help against the Vizorak invasion, and all remaining Vahki were destroyed. And that's it for today. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Leave in the comment section below on what is your favorite Vahki. This is Golden Pakari 25 signing out.